Alright guys, so just want to tell you about these two crazy, amazing dreams that I had last night. Um, the first one's a little long, but it was definitely a blessing from God. So basically, here we go. I remember I was in I guess if you, when I was a kid, I used to hang out at grandma's house, and I used to hang out under her table and play with my toys and stuff. And it always felt like it was like this giant fortress. And in the dream, it was kind of like that. It felt like I was under that table again, but I was an adult. But anyway. I'm hanging out, doing like homework or something like that for like some class. It was like a camp or something. And then there was this girl that was there, and she was like hitting on me, flirting with me, and somebody had told me that she was just flirting with me to get the answers for the test. So she came back around at one point asking me if she could see the test or my homework. And I'm like, no, you can't see it. And she looks at me like, what? Like, you're not gonna give it to me? And I'm like, and I had told her that she couldn't. I wasn't gonna let her copy the answers and cheat. So, and she had people with her, and this guy looked at her like, I thought you said he was gonna let us have it. So he grabbed her and like pulled her away. And I remember thinking, oh no, did I just get her in trouble? Is he going to do something to her? He can hurt her or something like that? So, then at this point it changed a little, and I was laying down on these like individual beds, almost like twin size beds, but it was just like the mattress part. And there were a couple other guys with me, and we were laying in rows, like I was here, another guy's here, another guy's here, another guy's here. So I remember being real uncomfortable, like I felt like if I got from under the covers, something would grab me or something would get me or something like that. Like I just had this weird fear feeling over me. And so I had moved the bed from where it was at to try to get in a different spot, so I wouldn't be scared anymore. So at that point, like it got real weird, and I rolled over, and there was a guy on the bed with me, and like he like had this weird demonic look in his face. And then all of a sudden, all the guys, there were 3 other guys there, and they all started changing, and their teeth got real sharp and like came out of their mouth, and their jaws would like drop down. I guess like if you've ever seen any vampire movies, like where they would be human and then they would transform into their Dracula form, where their like whole face would be deformed and their teeth get all sharp and long, and and all that crazy stuff. It was just like that. And I started freaking out, and I'm like, oh no, like I'm like trying to get away from them. And the one guy that was with me, next to me, like it looked like he was about to bite me or something. So like I remember I pushed his head back, and I'm like, no, wait. And then they started talking to me, and they at this point I'm not in the bed anymore, and I'm standing up, and they're in front of me, and there's 3 of them, and they're telling me all these lies, saying like, they're showing me all these pictures, all these like demonic pictures. If you've ever seen tarot cards, they look like that, but they were real big. They were like paintings, and they were on these buckets that were hanging up next to them. And they were saying stuff like don't you know that you're forsaken, that God's forsaking you? And well, they never said God. They just kept saying that he's forsaking you, and he led you here to be devoured, and they were telling me all this stuff, trying to say that God left me and he led me there for the demons to devour me and to eat me, and that he wasn't with me, and like all these lies. You know how devil's the prince of lies. Satan is the prince of lies. So just full of deceit. So anyway, at that point, at a certain point, I remember praying, getting on my knees and praying. Like I was just calling out to God, like, Jesus, just come, please come to me, please save me. And nothing happened at first, and they were still saying stuff, and it was so weird because the pictures that they were showing me, like the one picture that stood out to me that I remember the most, it was like this black devilish demon that was it was like a picture, like he was standing behind two important people, and it was like the president and somebody else, and he had his hand on their shoulders, almost like you would take a picture with two friends or something. So and then I had looked up to the sky, and I started crying, and I cried out to God. I was like, why hast thou forsaken me? Almost like the same thing that Jesus said when he was on the cross right before he died. And then all of a sudden this giant sword came down, like boom, and it was like standing up in the ground, and then this giant figure came, and like humongous, and he had armor on, and then I remember thinking, like wishing, like I want to be with him, like take me with you. And then all of a sudden I was taken away from that area that I was in, and I was with this giant being that was walking away from it all. Like that's just. And then I remember at that point I seen somebody's face, and they were announcing that somebody was coming, like Jesus was coming or something like that. Like that alone, that's just amazing, guys. Like that just shows you, like, God never leave, as he says in his word, he will never leave you nor forsake you. Never leave you nor forsake you. If you call to him, he will come to you because you called to him. Like, he's with us. If you know God personally, you have a personal relationship with him, you have nothing to fear. You should fear nothing because God is with you. Like, yes, the devil is going to attack you. He's going to attack you. He's going to tell you lies upon lies because that's what he wants to do. That's what he's here to do. To lead us away, to deceive us. But if your faith is strong, if you ask God for faith to strengthen your faith, you will see God, his spirit will give you discernment to let you know what is a lie, and you will know the truth, because God says, Jesus said, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. No man come to the Father but through me, through him. If you don't have Jesus today, you better do it soon, because he's coming. He's coming. That second coming is coming. You might not believe it or not, but Jesus is the only way. So, guys, just with that said, God bless everybody, and I'll talk to you again.